Good morning. I'm Berks County Commissioner Christian Leinbach, and I want to welcome you to our Commissioners Board meeting for Thursday, March 27th. We're in person, obviously, but also broadcasting via Microsoft Teams live event. We're on BCTV and also broadcasting live via Facebook and YouTube Live. We'll begin with a moment of silence, followed by a pledge to the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I'll recognize my executive assistant, Veronica Lepore, to read the public comment policy.
Good morning, thank you. Public comment will be accepted in person and through the Q&A function. Please include your first name, last name, and municipality for all comments. Any comments without name and municipality will not be considered. Each citizen can submit one comment. Comment length is dictated by limitations of the platform being used, Teams Q&A, Facebook, and YouTube. In-person comments will be accepted first, followed by comments submitted virtually. The meeting comment period is limited to a total of 30 minutes, including both in-person and virtual comments. This time period may be extended at the discretion of the board. Please be concise. Comments that are germane to county business will be read during the meeting and should not be considered to be interactive dialogue with the commissioners. The county solicitor shall be the final arbiter of whether a comment is germane and should be read. Any commissioner response to public comment will be done at the discretion of the commissioners.
Thank you very much, Veronica. Our first presentation today is from Stephanie Williams, our system administrator for the Berks County Public Library System, and Debbie Noel, who is the advisory board chair. If they could come up to the podium, we have a presentation to make. Commissioners. So this is National Library Week, and those of you that have been around for a while know that we don't do many proclamations, but we go out of our way to try to do that when they directly relate to departments here in Berks County. And our library department is pretty important for many different reasons, but the support that they provide to the system libraries is very, very valuable. All three of us probably will say something about the town hall that was held this week, Tuesday evening at the Wernersville Public Library. And that is as a result of you as our director suggesting that almost 3 years ago. And this is our second full year of doing our town halls exclusively at our library. So on behalf of the commissioners, and I'm going to invite my colleagues to say a few words as well, I want to present this proclamation to you, Stephanie, and to you, Debbie. Thank you for volunteering. All of our BC, and I'm going to say it wrong, Berks County Public Library, BCPL library board members are volunteers, and we appreciate that very much. So thank you.
Thank you.
Shake hands here.
Thank you.
And I'll give that to you. Let both of them speak, and then we'd like to hear from both of you.
So thank you for the work you do at the library and the staff that's here as well. Thank you for the work that you do. Also want to take an opportunity to thank the people that work at the libraries and also volunteer at the libraries, because some libraries have some paid staff, but there's also a lot of volunteers at the different libraries as well, who are either board members or who spend their time at the library doing whatever job is required there. So thank you, because without those volunteers, the libraries would not be able to offer the services that they offer. And I've said it many, many times, libraries isn't anymore just about going and getting a book and taking it home to read. There's many other things that go into the library. They're a community hub now, where there are different resources for the local community. So thank you for the work that you do.
Thank you.
Hello.
Thank you, Commissioner.
To the staff and to Debbie for all the work that you do. We just to reiterate what my colleagues have said. I always say that libraries are the heartbeat of our community, and they are, and as Commissioner Rivera said, it's not just about books, it's about being part of the community, not just for the young, but for the old as well. So we appreciate all the work that you do, and we're also thankful for allowing us to be partners and having our town halls. I think that helps us generate more excitement, more opportunities for people to come and see us and interact with the commissioners. So thank you again for all that you do and for being such a wonderful part of our county and our communities. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And I do have a few remarks. I've been asked to be brief, so I will. Thank you again, commissioners. Thank you to our county leadership team as well. I am Stephanie Williams, the system administrator for Berks County Public Libraries, and I'm joined by our Berks County Public Libraries Advisory Board Chair, Dr. Debbie Noel. We greatly appreciate this proclamation in honor of our upcoming National Library Week, April 6th through April 12th. This year's theme is Drawn to the Library. So you might be asking yourself, why would someone be drawn to a library? I'll tell you why. Our 23 library locations are sanctuaries of learning, access points for creativity, and beacons of opportunity for individuals of all ages and backgrounds. Whether it's hosting community events like the Commissioners' Town Hall meetings, providing digital resources, or inspiring young minds with stories, libraries enrich our lives in ways that are often invisible, but always vital. In 2024, nearly 200,000 individuals attended programs hosted by our libraries. We also experienced a 5% increase in the amount of library visits, having recorded more than 950,000 visits. If that trend continues, we will surpass 1 million visits in 2025. I challenge you to visit our libraries and become part of achieving that milestone. In closing, the Pennsylvania Forward initiative, spearheaded by the Pennsylvania Library Association, notes that literacy is power and libraries provide the fuel. And I couldn't agree more. Thank you to the Berks County Commissioners for recognizing the value of our libraries and investing in them. We are honored to receive this proclamation today. Thank you.
I just want to very quickly say thank you for your continued support and your commitment to the library. We wouldn't be able to provide this service to the community without your support. And I challenge everyone to visit your local library at some time in 2025. Let's surpass that 1 million. Okay?
Let's take a picture right here with proclamation. And just afraid, wait till the end. You guys stand in the middle. You're the stars.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you again.
Thank you. Sticking with the theme of presentations, I'm very pleased to recognize David Hunter, our Executive Director of Berks County Planning, and our Assistant Director of Planning, Ashley Showers, to present the kickoff for the next version of the county comp plan, 2030, 40? Yeah, right. We're almost to 30. Hard to believe.
Good morning. Thank you, Mr. Chairman, commissioners, row officers, and members of staff. For the record, I'm David Hunter, the Executive Director of the Berks County Planning Commission. Today, we're here before you to kick off the comprehensive plan update process. It's only fitting that we springboard and we capitalize off the momentum of Imagine Berks, and many thanks to Pam Mennett for her leadership, growing Berks, and the Greenway Park and Recreation Plan. It's now time to begin on a 2-year planning process to develop a brand new state-of-the-art county comprehensive plan. Our team of planners, some of them are here today, appreciate all the work that staff does. We're ready and able and eager to begin the journey of this new development. I want to recognize some of our partners here, not by name, but I'm looking at them. We appreciate the support of our stakeholder friends in the county. I'm happy also to report, commissioners, that Because of your support and leadership, several townships and boroughs in the county have embraced the joint comprehensive planning process. Because of this, we hope that this enthusiasm carries over onto the county comprehensive plan update. Many Berks Countyans now see planning not as a nicety, it's a necessity. Here is my trusty right hand leading the effort, Ashley Showers, the Assistant Director, who's going to explain the process and go into more detail. Thank you for your support.
Thank you, David. This morning, as David said, we're going to kick off our official start to the 2-year process for the county comprehensive plan. A comprehensive plan establishes a vision for land use, infrastructure, housing, and recreational spaces. It provides a roadmap for balancing economic growth, environmental protection, and community well-being. It serves as a guide to our local government officials in making informed policy decisions and zoning decisions. Our approach to this comprehensive plan will be different in many ways. The first difference is our intent to create an implementable comprehensive plan. An implementable comprehensive plan is organized in a way that decision makers and citizens think. It will address trending land use issues such as short-term rentals and solar arrays. We will create a workable action plan that will identify partners that will create capacity to implement the plan's vision, and we will work throughout the entire planning process to earn the community's support. Each of the elements here from the municipality's planning code are required to be discussed and analyzed in the comprehensive plan. Community outreach and engagement is part of each of those elements. The 2-year plan development process includes the items shown here. We're proposing, in addition to our land use analysis, that we conduct a corridor build-out analysis along several of the main transportation corridors in the county. The build-out analysis projects the development that could occur in an area under current zoning regulations. The corridor build-out analysis enables a community to test the reality of its development regulations against its vision for its future. We have proposed that a consultant be brought alongside the Planning Commission staff to conduct this build-out analysis. The build-out analysis will provide significant data to support county and municipal land use decisions. It will identify a parcel's full development or redevelopment potential. Availability of new and real-time data is a vital component to developing a comprehensive plan. We are lucky to have several data software packages such as Placer AI that will assist in our analyses during the plan development process. Additionally, using the county's newest version of ArcGIS to create story maps and interactive maps will elevate the exposure of the comprehensive plan with the members of the community. New outreach methods will be employed to develop this implementable comprehensive plan. We intend to capitalize on our partnerships with our stakeholders like the Realtors Association and Greater Reading Chamber Alliance by joining their established events and meeting people where they are to gain real insight into what they need. We need to create aha moments by asking the right questions. Additionally, focus group interviews characterized by the subject matter required in the required elements of the comprehensive plan, such as infrastructure and natural resources, will be conducted to capture each subject matter's issues and needs. The new implementable comprehensive plan will serve as a guiding document to land use decisions countywide. It will provide information that will guide responsible growth while preserving our green spaces, waterways, and agriculture. It will encourage local investment and economic diversity. We'll go back, that's all right. Today, the Planning Commission invites you to join us on our journey of the comprehensive planning process by visiting our dedicated website for the plan. We will continually provide updates about the plan development process, including public engagement events throughout the next 2 years. With that, commissioners, thank you for the opportunity to kick off this important planning endeavor, and I am happy to answer any questions.
Any questions?
Questions?
I have a few comments. First of all, I'd like to not just recognize the two of you, if the staff could please stand up that are here from the planning department. We appreciate your work or the work that's just beginning on a major update that happens every 10 years. So thank you very much. I also want to recognize Pam Mennett. Pam is our Director of Community Economic Development. She works not just with the planning, but a number of our key departments and authorities in the area of economic development. This is a critical economic development tool. Appreciate having you here. And I'm going to recognize partners, and I'm guessing why one individual is here, but Arbar, Mike, if you Mike, there I am. And I'm going to blow it across the board here. Kristen, RDA, not RDA, IDA. So there's two mistakes. And where did Erin go? Oh, there she is. GRCA. Three of our partners that took the time to be here and to show up. Derek works with Pam, Derek Harris, and he is our data research, does a great job. The last thing I want to say, this is a unique opportunity. I'm not going to name any municipalities, but there are some municipalities whose comp plan is out of date. And when your comp plan is out of date, it is largely unenforceable when you are dealing with challenges of development in your community. This is a great time. Reach out to the planning department. They are there to help point you in the right direction, but we need our municipalities to work together. And if everyone's comp plan is up to date, it's a much stronger document at the end of the day. We, in Pennsylvania, unfortunately or fortunately, depending on your perspective, the county comp plan is a guiding document. It does not have the force of law behind it. That document depends on the document at the municipal level. And so this is a great opportunity to help all of our municipalities, but especially those that are behind in that schedule. And there are quite a few, as I understand. I see David shaking his head. So any comments from my colleagues?
So, yeah, thank you for the presentation and for the team for the work that you do. One thing I really like is the corridor build out analysis. I know I met with Dave and Ashley about that, learn more about it. I think that's a great opportunity for municipalities to be able to take a look at that and see what could happen, what the benefits are of what's being proposed. So great job on that. The other 2 points I feel are important is one is that it's implementable, because that's something, even when we did Imagine Berks, we said we don't want to do a plan and have it sit on the shelf and gather dust and then pull it out 3 years later and say, well, what happened with the plan, right? And the same with the ag study as well. When we do these studies, we want to make sure that they're implementable, that they're goals that we're going to be reaching. And the other thing that's really important about it is community ownership as well, that I saw that you spoke about, as Commissioner Leinbach mentioned, something that we need the whole community to get involved, the municipalities to play their part to make sure that it's a plan that we can work with it'll be for 10 years. So that community outreach part and community ownership is extremely important in this plan to be able to carry it out. So thank you for your work.
Thank you all for the presentation. And I just want to mention briefly that this is just the beginning, and we do welcome your input. Thanks to all the partners that are involved, but we also need input from our communities, our local municipalities, and our residents. This is a great endeavor. It's going to take 2 years, so we look forward to the updates along the way, but we need input from our community as well, and we look forward to that. So thank you all for the presentation. We appreciate it.
Thank you very much. Moving on with the agenda, are there any additions or corrections for the March 20th meeting minutes? Hearing none, the minutes will stand approved as presented. We did have an executive session yesterday, March the 25th, dealing with litigation, personnel, security, and real estate. Is there any public comment on specific agenda items? I don't see anything online, nothing in person. Moving to the agenda, item 1, authorizing under that budget, adopt a resolution authorizing 2024 appropriations netting 0 and 2025 budget transfers in the amount of $22,012 and 2025 appropriations in the amount of $278,686 per listing dated March 21st. There are 2 items listed under Human Resources. Item 1, authorize Ryan Tully, Deputy Sheriff, to work out of classification as Sergeant in the Sheriff's Department. Item 2, authorize the utilization of a temp agency for the Veterans Assistant position in the Veterans Affairs Office. There are several items listed under the Commissioners. Item A, adopt a resolution approving the submission of the application for reimbursement of the county recycling coordinator position to the Pennsylvania Department of Environmental Protection, Bureau of Waste Management for reimbursement of 50% of the salary, benefits, and expenses paid to the Berks County Recycling Coordinator for calendar year 2024, known as the 903 Recycling Coordinator Grant, and further authorizing the chair to execute the Worker Protection and Investment Certification Form. Item B, adopt a resolution exonerating the 2024 county property taxes for Gateway Fellowship Center in the amount of $7,328.04 for the following properties. One at 247 Fredericksville Road in Rockland Township, and one at 249 Fredericksville Road, also in Rockland Township. Item C, adopt a resolution approving the terms and conditions for a new 4-year collective bargaining agreement between the County of Berks and SEIU Healthcare Pennsylvania, and further authorize the execution of the consolidated collective bargaining agreement subject to approval of the agreement by the Solicitor's Office. Item D, adopt a resolution authorizing the chief clerk to advertise enactment of a proposed ordinance which amends Ordinance 04-2020 to update the hours of work for deputies assigned to the Domestic Relations section to be consistent with the changes in hours in the collective bargaining agreement between the County of Berks and the Berks County Deputy Sheriff's Association, and further authorizing execution of 2 amended intergovernmental cooperation agreements between the County of Berks, the Berks County Sheriff's Office, and the Court of Common Pleas of Berks County Domestic Relations Section. Item E, adopt a resolution authorizing the Director of Parks and Rec, or in their absence, the Assistant Director of Parks and Rec, to submit special event permit applications and any accompanying documentation to Berne Township on an as-needed basis for qualifying parks events. Item F, adopt a resolution authorizing a letter of support to be sent to Josephine Torres Boykins at the Council on Chemical Abuse, requesting consideration for COCA to retain Jeffrey Allman as a consultant to coordinate the opioid settlement funds with the County of Berks. Item G, adopt a resolution authorizing a letter of support to the Pennsylvania Department of Conservation and Natural Resources Annual Heritage Area Program grant supporting the Schuylkill River Greenways grant funding application for their work as a heritage area and regional leader of the Schuylkill River Trail. There are 2 items listed under Commissioner Rivera. Item A, adopt a resolution authorizing the appointment of Rick Perez, Temple, Pennsylvania, to the Reading Public Library Board of Trustees for a 6-year term expiring on 12/31 of 2030, replacing Renee Dietrich, who resigned. Item B, adopt a resolution authorizing the reappointment of Michael Toledo, Blandon, Pennsylvania, to the Berks County Children and Youth Advisory Board for a 3-year term expiring on 12/31/2027. Item 2, a motion to authorize the execution of contract agreements and amendments as set forth in the contract agenda listing dated March the 24th of 2025. There are 7 contracts, one with the Area Agency on Aging, one with the Berks, one with Budget and Finance, one with Facilities and Operations, one with Mental Health and Developmental Disabilities, one with Information Systems, and one with Parks and Rec. And then item 3, a motion to authorize the execution of the payments and electronic transfers for the week ending March 28th of 2025.
Motion to approve the agenda as presented?
Second.
The motion has been made and seconded. Is there any comment? I'm going to make one comment. Item A under Commissioner Rivera, Renee Dietrich, who resigned from the Reading Public Library. Renee has been a stalwart member of that board for a very long time before I was a commissioner. Just an amazing lady. I know there's a number of people that know her, but really appreciate her service through many, many years. The Reading Public Library is the single largest library in our county library system. That shouldn't surprise anyone. It is the largest municipality. The city of Reading is the largest municipality, and it has multiple libraries within the city of Reading. So I want to give my personal thank you to Renee Dietrich and her many, many years of service.
I would, if I could, second
Sure.
that, because I know Renee personally. She's a terrific person, gives a lot back to the community. So we thank her for her help here and her service, and I'm sure we'll be seeing her around.
Any other comments? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The motion is carried. We'll move to reports of treasurer and our controller. Will begin with our treasurer, and in his absence, we have Linda Weaver, deputy treasurer. Linda. No, that's not Linda. Reminds me of an old country song. I'm not Lisa. My name is Julie. Lisa left you years ago. I don't know. Is Linda there?
Yes,
Bottom
I'm
left.
here.
There she is. Go ahead, Linda.
Good morning. We have an opening balance of $170,344,249.28. We have a balance to clear of $4,928,459.28, leaving us with a balance of $165,416,790.
Thank you very much, Linda.
Welcome. Yep.
And moving to, what is your name again? Moving to our controller, Joe Ruddero, with the controller's report.
Thank you,
Joe.
Mr. Chairman. For the week ending March 28, 2025, we have a total accounts payable of $8,448,209.46. We have an employee payroll of $5,525,570.42 for a total cash disbursement of $13,973,779.88.
Thank you very much, Joe. Moving to Kevin Barnhart for the report from our Chief Operations Officer.
Thank you, Commissioner Linebaugh. 2 items of note on the agenda today. We want to thank the board for your support of the Temporary Agency for Veterans Affairs. We were approached by our director, Jay Ostrich, about a week ago. They're getting slammed with requests for appointments, and they just can't keep up with the backlog of people requesting Veterans Affairs support. So we certainly have this for about a 90-day period. We're going to reevaluate it after 90 days to see if that's needs to continue, but they really, really need the support, and thank you for that.
Sure.
Second item is just to note that the item about the letter going to COCA to retain Jeffrey Allman as a consultant for the opioid settlement funds. I want to commend Stan Papademetrio, who has been in that position for well over 2 years, has done a phenomenal job of keeping us on track with the significant amount of money coming in through the various opioid settlement fund distributions. And certainly Jeff has the experience and the knowledge to fill in and replace Stan in this position. So thank you for that support as well. And lastly, Commissioner Santoni is going to explain to you our sojourn to Harrisburg on Monday.
Okay.
Thank you.
sojourn as a drive versus the Schuylkill River sojourn.
Correct.
That's a
Yes.
kayak or canoe. Okay.
Our chauffeur, Larry Medaglia, was in charge that day. So thank you.
Very good. Well, thank you very much. We'll move now to commissioners' comments, and we'll begin with Commissioner Michael Rivera.
Thank you, Commissioner Linebaugh. A few items. This past Tuesday, we had our monthly town hall at the Warnersville Public Library. So thank you to the library for allowing us to share the space there with them. And again, as I had mentioned before, it's dual purpose. It's one, we have a location where we can hold a town meeting at, but it's also a way to help promote the local library as well. I'm sure there's always people that have never been to that library and either get a call saying, hey, we're having that town hall at the library. So it makes them aware of the library, or that they show up at the library and have never been there before. We had some good discussion there. Mayor Dean from Warnersville was there, so we thank her for being there. It's a great when we have local representatives that can go and ask questions about county government and also hear about the updates that we have to provide for them. And we also had Jared Renshaw, who is the fire commissioner. What's their
Western
department?
Berks.
Western Berks Fire Department. So thank you to Mayor Dean and Jared for being there and their interest in county government and sharing their thoughts around what's going on in their local community and how the county can help them out. Tonight, we will be at the Boyertown Area Progress Dinner, and they will be celebrating Preston's Pantry as the James K. Boyer Quality of Life Award for their dedication to the community. So congratulations to Preston's Pantry. That's always a great event. There's a group from Boyertown High School who puts together videos on local businesses. I saw it last year and they did a great job. So I'm looking forward to the videos that they will do this year again to highlight 4 of the local businesses in the Boyertown area. Also this year is next Tuesday is the What's So Cool About Manufacturing for Berks and Schuylkill counties, the award presentations. The voting is closed, so I'm not going to encourage you to go and vote, but you still can go on the What's So Cool About Manufacturing website and see the videos that were presented for Berks and Schuylkill, and that website is whatsocool.org and whatsocool.org. And I do want to take the opportunity to thank the manufacturers that opened their doors to these middle school kids to be able to go out, learn about manufacturing, the schools who took their time to participate in this contest. They have to go learn about the manufacturer, put a video together. There is a teacher that helps them, but it's the students that put the video together and what it's going to look like. So great job. Thank you to all of them. And again, thank you to the manufacturers who opened their doors. Manufacturing is the #1 industry in Berks County by employees. So it's good that we get kids at a young age involved in manufacturing and understand really what all the different types of manufacturing that we have here in Berks County. I want to take the opportunity also to thank Renee Dautrick for her service to the Reading Public Library and welcome Rick Perez to that board. When selecting who was going to replace Renee, who was very involved in the community, I wanted someone who would be able to bring something to the library board, and I felt Rick Perez was a good candidate for that. Rick is the executive director at Olivet's Boys and Girls Club. Although they have locations throughout the county, they serve primarily the city of Reading. So I felt it would be a good opportunity for him to be part of the Reading Public Library Board. So thank you, Renee, for your work and dedication to the Reading Public Library Board, and welcome Rick Perez. There will be no Elections Board meeting tomorrow, but next Thursday there will be an Elections Board meeting. And one of the items at next week's board meeting, we will be discussing the Preserving and Protecting the Integrity of American Elections Executive Order. This was an executive order that came out just on March 25th, a few days ago. I want to touch on what that order is, what impacts it may have here in Berks County, and also anything that has happened between now and then around this executive order. So if you want to learn more about that executive order, which deals specifically with elections, please join us next week at our Elections Board meeting. And that is all I have.
Thank you very much, Commissioner Rivera. We'll move now to Commissioner Dante Santoni.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Before I get into my comments, I also want to recognize Mr. Perez. Rick Perez is going to be joining our board, and I think that he is CEO, president of the Olives, but he's also the former coach of the Reading High basketball team, 3-time state champion. Now he currently is the assistant coach at Muhlenberg. So if we ever form a county basketball team, I think we have a pretty good coach to lead us.
And you can ref.
I can ref. Yeah, I've called some technical fouls on the chairman. Okay.
There you go.
Couple of things. Only if you're not nice to me, Mr. Chairman.
Okay.
But you are.
I'll be nice.
Okay. Okay, here we go. Couple of things that I participated in the last week. Lynn and I, my executive assistant, were participating in Meals on Wheels, an event, countywide event that they invite a lot of the elected officials. We were up in the Fleetwood, Kutztown area. It's through Berks Encore. It's a terrific program. Obviously, it's Meals on Wheels. Everybody knows what that is. But I think what's really important is we got a chance to make some meals beforehand with some seniors. And there was a lady that I got to mention. I didn't get her last name, but her name was Anna Mae. She's going to be turning 94 next month, and she is a dynamo. I told her, I said, if I'm even half as happy and excited of being here as you are when I'm 94, I'll be successful. So I just want to give Anna Mae a shout out, and also our driver Gary Schumann. I think what's important is not just that these seniors are getting meals, but the social interaction. We got a chance to talk to some of the seniors, and some of them are homebound in some cases, so they're real happy that we were there to greet them and say hello to them. So I think that was a special day that we had that morning up in Fleetwood and Kutztown. Excuse me. Commissioner Rivera talked about the town hall. GRCA hosted an event last week at the DoubleTree with regards to the FIFA soccer tournament that's coming. The World Cup is coming to the United States and Mexico and Canada next year. The 2026 World Cup. I know many people in America don't realize how big this event is. But one of the statistics that they mentioned at our meeting was that the Super Bowl generates about 230 million viewers. The World Cup final is watched by over 3 billion people. Philadelphia, in the Northeast corridor, Philadelphia, New York, New Jersey area, and Boston are going to host some games. We're going to have 6 games in Philadelphia, and they're coming to communities that are close to the city because there's opportunities for visitors to come here, for people to come and visit and spend some money and tour our be in our community. There are 6 games. There's going to be a game on July 4th at Lincoln Financial Field in Philadelphia. And the draw will come out in December, so we'll know the countries that are going to be coming to our community. So games are every 3 or 4 days, so there's going to be time in between. So we're going to do everything we can with the help of the GRCA. They're leading us to bring people to Berks County to find out about the greatness that we have here. So
your buddy just posted Jonathan Del Calo. Guess what? Who he picked to win?
Well, we the Italian team, we have to qualify first. We didn't qualify the last time, so I'm hoping for a July 4th USA versus Italy match at Lincoln Financial Field. I have to get tickets for that. Anyway, but that's a huge event, and I think you'll be hearing a lot more about that as we get closer to it next year. We also had the commissioners we were all together at Reading Area Community College 2 days ago for the food pantry event. They have a great program there at RAC, led by, of course, Dr. Looney and her team. But I think the best part, the highlight of it, was we were sitting and had an opportunity to talk to some of the students that participated in it and the input that they gave us. And it's something that they're getting life experience through, and they're helping fellow students. And it's through Helping Harvest. Jay Worrell was there, and they do a great job in providing the resources. And people come. Kids can't learn if they're hungry, so there's an opportunity for young people to come. In some cases, families, single moms, single dads that can come and get food to help with their family as they try to study and better themselves going to RAC. So it's a great program. It was reported in the press. I'm sure many of you saw it, but it was great for the commissioners to be there. Okay, I'm going to talk about what Kevin mentioned earlier, the trip we made to Harrisburg. The leadership team, Kevin, Larry, some people from JPO, the DA, John Adams, Judge Lash from Berks County, and myself had an opportunity to travel to Harrisburg to meet with our legislative delegation and attempt to secure some funding for our youth detention center that we're looking to get up and running sometime end of this year, beginning of next, maybe sometime closer to 2026, I would say. We had a great opportunity to meet with our legislators, our senators, our state representatives, their staffs. But I think what was important is that we were working on a regional cooperation with Dauphin and Lehigh County. We had a program. Every county was represented. Our DA spoke. Judge Lash also was part of the program, as well as our team. I was part of that program as well, but also judges and staff from Lehigh and Dauphin County and their respective delegations. So we have a real opportunity. We think we gave our presentation, and we're hoping that we can get some funds secured from our local delegation through the governor's office, and it's a real exciting time. I think we got good feedback from our community leaders and our representatives up there, our delegation. So there's a lot more work that needs to be done, but this process is moving forward, and we really need help from Harrisburg. We indicated to them our commitment from the county level, Lehigh and Dauphin as well, but we need help from the state to get this up and running. So we look forward to working with them, and we want to thank publicly our delegation that was there and their staff. Couple other things that are coming up today. We'll be visiting, again, speaking of Iraq, we'll be down in Iraq again for their annual international festival, Around the World in a Bite. It's a international festival. It's an opportunity to celebrate the culture and diversity that's there at Iraq. We get invited down there. Student clubs are there to present interactive activities based on unity and cultural appreciation. So I look forward to that shortly. Michael talked about Boyertown Progress Days. On Saturday at the Vietnam Memorial, Reading City Park, through our veterans group, Vietnam Veterans of America, Chapter 31, Berks County, are having a National Vietnam War Veterans Day. 11 o'clock it starts, and it's time for us to get together. They want to share stories and experiences with the Vietnam era. So if anybody's available, Saturday, March 29th, 11 o'clock at the Vietnam Memorial at Reading City Park. Talked about what's so cool about manufacturing. And my last thing is, for those of us that are sports fans, I know I talk a lot about sports. Christian has his jacket on. Today is like a holiday. It's like Christmas for us. It's opening day of the baseball season. So everybody's in first place. Everybody's excited. I'm excited as a player and as a fan. So I'll root for the Phillies when they're not playing my favorite team, the Cardinals, but we look forward to that. And the Reading Phillies, our local team, opens up on April the 4th coming up. So happy baseball season. That's all I got.
Thank you very much. I'm not going to go through all of the things my colleagues touched on. I do want to note that last Friday, Veronica and I were able to participate in Meals on Wheels up at the Strausstown location. And instead of delivering, we help put the meals together. They receive all the items in bulk and then put it in containers and then make up the individual meals, seal them, and get them ready to go out. We had a great time with the volunteers that were up there. A lady tried to talk me in. She's actually a former employee at the Berksheim, afterwards into participating in chair Zumba. Now, if you can picture me, no, I didn't do it because I had to go to Tilden Elementary School to read to kindergarten kids. She wasn't buying that, but that was actually the truth. The chair Zumba could have looked really bad. I'm sure she would have made me look like I had no clue what I was doing. And since I've never done it before, in fact, I've never done Zumba before, I probably would have looked pretty bad. But we did have a lot of fun. Berks Encore does a great job up there, and they couldn't do it without all the volunteers. Veronica and I then went over to Tilden Elementary School, and that was the last day of their celebration of National Ag Week. I spoke to kids in Mr. Schaefer's class, kindergarten, and they had a blast. I had a blast going through the book and asking them questions. It was a lot of fun. Veronica had a separate class, and I know she had a great time. Last evening, I went to the Fleetwood Bank Ag Dinner, and I want to share a couple of things with you as a result of that experience. Just give me 1 second. So the keynote speaker for the evening was Kevin Golden. He and his wife own Ole Valley Feed in Ole. Then they have two other locations, one in Harleysville and one in Germansville. His presentation, and I'm going to just show you certain slides from it, blew me away because he talked, a lot of farmers were there. These are customers of Fleetwood Bank, a lot of folks that I knew. Kim Feast was there from our ag department. So the two of us were really impressed with the information that was shared. He focused on know your numbers, and this, he said, I'll skip over that. He loves agriculture, loves the business. Here's what he asked the attendees. What do you need to make to live? And how many you must do of those things? Here's what he's talking about. And these numbers should scare you. These are real numbers. He said, I don't sit down and say, let's plant corn. He goes through the costs. These are all the costs that go in to a per acre of corn, $837. You break even at $5. That's about as good as you're going to get right now. That's farming. Soybeans, same thing. Break even. $10 is about what you're going to get right now. And again, this is a guy feed mill, so he understands it from both ends. Their best bet, he explained, is what's called double crop. So anyone that's doing wheat, that's called winter wheat. It's already in the ground. It's what you probably see coming up in the fields already. If you look at the numbers, winter wheat actually has a net $294. And by doing a double crop, and in many cases, they won't even plow under, they'll do no-till, they'll plant soybeans, they can actually net per acre $490. He even went into beef cattle. Right now, I'm looking at the market, if you do and you have to do your math, because if you don't do your math and you overfeed, you lose money. $192 per steer is what you have, the total net that you can make. Dairy, I won't even go into the details. This is a much scarier scenario, in part because of the price controls of the federal government on the price of milk. And the only people that don't benefit really from that price are the core producers in dairy. This is one of his big pieces of advice. Before you look at emails, look at the checkbook. What expenses are coming in? What revenue is coming in? Keep 1 week to 10 days in reserve at all times. Owner gets paid last, and know your competition and do it better. Just, I got to tell you, I sat next to Kevin and his wife, I believe her name was Jane, and he was concerned because he had to speak after everybody else. I told him afterwards, you hit it out of the park, gave him my business card and said, can you send me your PowerPoint? Here's quotes to live by. One he heard all his life: waste not, want not. Be thrifty. A very good friend, and apparently a lot of people knew this guy. He gave the guy's name. He talked about why he goes to hear programs on agriculture. And he said, I can't get any dumber, or can't get no dumber. He said, in other words, always learn. This next one, he shares with all of his employees, especially when they start. Stack it straight, stack it nice, or you will do it twice. The other one he uses is only two ways to do things, once right or twice wrong. And he had to explain the last one, and it's a very good point. The last shovelful in a ditch is the hardest. And he pointed out everyone loves to start projects, but finishing is what matters most. And it's amazing, he said, how many people start things and don't finish them. Again, very impressed and wanted to share that. Some good Berks County common sense, business sense. And then quickly just share two photos from last evening, if I can find where they are. Here we go. First of all, this is most of the farm events I go to, and I shared this because there were a lot of my Grange people there. I'm a member of Virginville Grange, a lot of Berks County Farm Bureau members, and I'm a member of Berks County Farm Bureau. When we go there, it's all old people like me. Okay, so I'm not calling all it is. Most of the front three tables were filled with FFA members from 5 different schools. Several of them spoke. Just really exciting to see our youth and their engagement in agriculture because they are the future. In addition, this is Kevin from Ole Valley Feeds. Secretary Russ Redding was there. Russ has been in Berks County so many times over the years with so many different governors. He has served both Republican and Democrat governors in the ag area. That's me. Kevin Bieber. Kevin Bieber works with Fleetwood Bank as an ag lending officer. Tim Snyder. A lot of people remember Tim. Tim was our banking rep when I started here with Nat Penn. Tim is the president of Fleetwood, and he's just finished his 6-year stint on the Federal Reserve Board. I also sat next to him. He said the best decision he ever made was applying for the position to be president of Fleetwood Bank. Just loves the work. The last thing I'll share with you, one of the things that Kevin Golden said in the beginning, he said, this is sponsored by Fleetwood Bank, but he said it's important to have a relationship with your banker. And he said, I'm not knocking big banks. They have their role to play. But he pointed out that Kevin Bieber has been with him since day one. And he said it was Kevin that helped him get his first loan and how important that relationship is. And at the end of the day, in any community, in any business, in any family, any organization, it's all about relationships. And that's a message that really stuck with me last evening. Last thing, 4:05 p.m., the Phillies take on the Washington Nationals. Zach Wheeler is starting, and I don't dislike the Cardinals, but I love the Phillies, so go Phils. With that, any row officers' comments?
Nothing at this time, Commissioner.
Thank you. Public comment, nothing in person. I don't see anything online. Let me look here. It looks like there might be. No, that's just a post. Okay, that brings us to the end of the agenda.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
The meeting is adjourned.